What if I told you that billionaires don't just get richer because they work harder, but because they are playing an entirely different game? Think about it. Every day, millions of people wake up early, go to work, spend hours earning money, save whatever they can, and hope that one day they will finally feel financially secure. This is the system most people believe in. Work hard, earn more, save more, and eventually, you will become wealthy. But here is the strange part. If that system truly worked, then wouldn't the hardest working people be the richest? Yet that is clearly not the case. Some of the hardest working people in the world struggle financially their entire lives. At the same time, billionaires continue to grow their wealth at a pace that seems almost impossible. Now, here is something even more shocking. During economic downturns, when businesses fail, jobs disappear, and markets crash, the wealth of billionaires often increases. Yes, you heard that right. While most people are losing money, the richest people are finding ways to make even more. So what is really going on here? Is it luck, timing, intelligence, or is there a hidden system that most people simply do not understand? Because if you look closely, you will start to notice a pattern. Billionaires are not focused on earning money the way most people do. They are not trading their time for income in the traditional sense. Instead, they are building something much more powerful. They are building systems that generate money, systems that grow over time, systems that continue to work even when they are not actively involved. And once these systems are in place, something incredible happens. Money starts flowing to them instead of them chasing money. This is the real difference. And today, you are going to discover the real reason billionaires keep getting richer while most people stay stuck. Because once you understand this, your entire perspective on money will change forever. Most people believe they already understand how money works. From a young age, we are taught a very simple formula. Study hard, get a good job, earn a stable income, save money, and slowly build your future. This idea feels logical and safe, so millions of people follow it without questioning whether it actually leads to real wealth. But here is where the problem begins. This system is designed for stability, not for wealth creation. It helps you survive. It helps you manage life. But it rarely helps you break out of the cycle and build significant financial freedom. The biggest misunderstanding is this: people believe that income equals wealth, so they focus all their energy on increasing their salary. They chase promotions, switch jobs for higher pay, and work longer hours, thinking that more income will solve everything. But in reality, income is just a tool. It is not the end goal. You can earn a high salary and still struggle financially if you do not know how to turn that income into something that grows. At the same time, someone with a much lower income can build serious wealth if they understand how to use money correctly. Another major issue is how people treat saving. Saving money feels responsible. It feels like progress. But over time, inflation quietly reduces the value of that money. The money sitting in your bank account is not really growing. In fact, it is losing purchasing power every single year. So while you think you are becoming financially secure, you are actually falling behind. And then comes the biggest fear of all: debt. Most people are taught to avoid debt at all costs. Debt is seen as dangerous, risky, and something that should be eliminated as quickly as possible. But here is the twist. Billionaires do not fear debt. They understand how to use it. While the average person avoids borrowing, the wealthy use borrowing as a strategic tool to multiply their wealth. This creates a massive gap. On one side, people are trying to protect their money and avoid risk. On the other side, billionaires are using systems that allow their money to grow faster than they could ever earn it. And that is where everything starts to change. So what is the real system that billionaires use to keep getting richer? It is not complicated once you break it down. In fact, it comes down to three simple but powerful principles: assets, leverage, and time. Let's start with assets. An asset is anything that either puts money into your pocket or increases in value over time. This could be stocks, real estate, businesses, or even intellectual property. Here is the key difference. Most people use their income to buy things that lose value. Things like expensive gadgets, cars, or lifestyle upgrades. These are liabilities. They take money out of your pocket. Billionaires do the opposite. They use their money to acquire assets first. Assets that generate income or grow in value. Over time, these assets begin to produce more money, which can then be reinvested into even more assets. This creates a powerful cycle. Money buys assets. Assets generate more money. That money buys even more assets. Now let's talk about leverage. Leverage is the ability to use other people's money to increase your own returns. This is one of the biggest secrets behind massive wealth. Instead of relying only on their own capital, billionaires borrow money at low interest rates and invest it into opportunities that generate higher returns. For example, instead of buying one property with cash, they might use that same money as a down payment to control multiple properties. Now, they are earning returns on a much larger base. Their gains multiply. Even though they did not use all their own money, of course, leverage comes with risk. But when used correctly and strategically, it becomes a powerful tool for growth. Finally, time. This is the most underrated factor. Billionaires are not focused on quick wins. They are focused on long-term growth. They understand the power of compounding. When an investment grows, and then that growth itself starts generating more growth, the results become exponential over time. At first, progress looks slow, but as time passes, the growth accelerates dramatically. This is why patience is so important. Billionaires build systems that keep growing for years, even decades. They combine assets, leverage, and time into one strategy. And once that system is in motion, wealth starts growing almost automatically. Let's bring this idea into the real world so you can clearly see how this system actually works. Take Elon Musk as an example. Most people assume that Elon Musk became one of the richest people in the world because of a massive salary or constant cash income. But that is not how his wealth works at all. The majority of his wealth is tied to ownership. Specifically, his shares in companies like Tesla. When Tesla grows, the value of his shares increases. This means his net worth can rise by billions without him earning a traditional paycheck. But here is where things get even more interesting. He does not need to sell those shares to access money. Instead, he can borrow against them. This is known as a stock-backed loan. In simple terms, he uses his shares as collateral to get access to large amounts of cash from banks. This allows him to spend or invest money without actually selling his assets. Why does this matter? Because when you sell assets like stocks, you usually have to pay taxes on the gains. But when you borrow money, it is not considered income. So there are no immediate taxes on that cash. This allows him to keep his assets, continue benefiting from their growth, and still access liquidity when needed. Now, let's look at Jeff Bezos. His wealth is primarily connected to Amazon. As Amazon expanded over the years, the value of his ownership grew massively. Just like Musk, Bezos does not rely on selling his shares regularly to fund his lifestyle. Instead, he uses similar financial strategies to maintain control of his assets, while still accessing capital. This is the system in action. Ownership creates wealth. Assets grow over time, and leverage allows access to money without breaking the system. Meanwhile, the average person is working for money every day, trading time for income, but billionaires are building structures where money flows to them, whether they are actively working or not. That is the real difference that separates the two worlds. Now that you understand how billionaires actually build and grow their wealth, the most important question is this: what should you do with this information? Because knowing something is not enough. The real value comes from applying it. The first and most important lesson is to shift your focus from income to assets. Most people spend their entire lives trying to increase their salary, and while earning more money is helpful, it should not be your only focus. Instead, start asking a different question. How can I own assets that grow over time or generate income for me? This could be small at the beginning. You do not need millions to start. Even small investments can grow into something meaningful over time if you stay consistent. The second lesson is to respect leverage, but use it wisely. Leverage is a powerful tool, but it must be handled carefully. Used correctly, it can accelerate your growth. Used carelessly, it can create serious financial problems. The key is to understand what you are investing in and to avoid taking unnecessary risks. The third lesson is to think long term. We live in a world that promotes instant results. People want fast money, quick success, and overnight wealth. But real wealth does not work that way. Wealth is built through consistency, patience, and time. The earlier you start, the more powerful the results become. The fourth lesson is to stop thinking like a saver only. Saving money is important. It gives you security and stability, but saving alone will not make you rich. You need to move from saving to investing. From protecting money to growing it. And the final lesson is the most important one. Understand that wealth is not random. It follows patterns, systems, and rules. The financial system rewards those who understand how to play the game. If you continue to follow the same habits as everyone else, you will get the same results as everyone else. But if you start thinking differently, acting differently, and applying these principles, you can start building a completely different financial future. You do not need to be a billionaire to use these ideas. You just need to start. And the sooner you begin, the more powerful your results will be. Now you understand the real reason billionaires keep getting richer. It is not about working longer hours. It is not about having a higher salary. And it is not about luck or chance. It is about understanding how money actually works. Billionaires build systems that generate wealth. They focus on assets that grow over time. They use leverage to expand their reach, and they think in decades, not days. This is the mindset that separates them from everyone else. But here is the hard truth. Most people will watch this, understand it, and then do absolutely nothing. They will go back to their daily routines. Back to working for income. Back to saving without investing. Back to following the same financial habits that keep them stuck. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you want a different financial future, you have to take a different approach. You cannot keep thinking like everyone else and expect different results. You have to start thinking in terms of ownership. You have to start thinking in terms of growth. And you have to start learning how money really works. In the real world, that is exactly what this channel is here for. Breaking down complex financial ideas into simple, clear explanations, showing you how wealth is actually built, and helping you develop the mindset needed to grow financially over time. If you are serious about understanding money, investing, and wealth creation, then you are in the right place, because this journey is not about quick wins. It is about building knowledge. It is about building habits, and most importantly, it is about building a new way of thinking. So if you found value in this video, make sure you subscribe to the Geeky Investor. Stay consistent. Keep learning, and keep applying what you learn. Because once you understand how money really works, you will never look at it the same way again.